When I was in kindergarten, my teacher told us that anyone that could spell their full name would get to go on a trip to an amusement park. Now, most of my classmates had simple names, like John Smith or Sue Brown. I had the beginnings of a simple name, Stephen. But Hollingsworth? That seemed like 50 miles of bad road to me. I wanted to go on that trip. So I studied, and I got it right. I got my name right. I got my name right. I get to go on the trip. As you can tell from my reaction, I was pretty excited. My parents looked at each other, and then sadness filled their faces. See, I had forgotten that my father had been laid off, and all the money that we had coming in the house was from odd jobs that he could find some days. I had also forgotten that I was the oldest of 4 kids, and any money that we had was used for necessities. My trip wasn't a necessity. It was a hope. My mother walked into the kitchen, right to her spice cabinet, reached in and pulled out a jar with the word hope written on it. She took off the lid and counted out $20 in bills and coins and gave it to me. And she said, "Son, never lose your hope." I just never realized how much I would need that hope until last year. My wife and I were expecting a child, and I was excited. And the doctors told us that her pregnancy was going along perfectly. Then my daughter decided that she couldn't wait to come out and see her handsome father. And in the delivery room, I couldn't wait to hear her first cry. But when she was born, there was no crying. Yes, the room was filled with noises, but it was coming from panicking nurses and doctors that were desperately trying to save my little girl's life. She wasn't breathing. And at that very moment, I began to think I might not ever hear my little girl cry or see her smile. I might not see her crawl across the floor or ever hear her say, "Dad." I closed my eyes, and as the tears began to fall, I whispered up a prayer. The hope of a father was realized on that day. I finally took it down and looked inside, and she had placed a few dollars and a note in it. The note said, "Son, I love you. Never lose hope. Because this jar might empty, but your heart never will." These days, so many of us have allowed our hope jars to empty. Our happiness has been replaced with despair, and our dreams have been replaced with real nightmares. So do we quit? Do we give up on all the things in life that we've ever wanted? Do we allow others to deflate our hopes and talk us out of our dreams? Hope is that thing that turns impossible situations into miracles that can never be explained. When I look into my children's eyes, I see hope. When I think about my parents and their sacrifice, I can feel their hopes and dreams for me. And when I think about my future and all of its possibilities, I am hopeful. Here is my hope jar. Where did you stash yours?